Welcome back to Martin Sim Racing. Oh, wait a minute. Sorry about that. Get confused about reality and virtual reality sometimes. Welcome back to Martin Sim Racing. Today we got a sponsored video for you by, that's right, VR Wave. So let's cut right to that commercial. Then we're going to talk about the 5 top things that GT7 needs to do to make this virtual reality experience even better. Dang it, man, my contacts are drying out. Can't stand to wear my contacts late at night. Ugh. Guess I can put my glasses on. No, I don't want to do that. Because that's going to scratch my lenses. I know it will. What am I going to do? Oh, look. VR Wave. VR Wave. Prescription lenses. Prescription lens inserts for the VR headset. That solves the problem. VR Wave. Prescription lens inserts. Wow. Let's see how this works. Wow, that's amazing. It's just like wearing contacts, except my eyes aren't drying out and I'm not wearing contacts. This is the way to go. VR Wave sent me these lenses for free about 2 weeks ago. Been using them for about 2 weeks to make sure they work good, and they do. If you wear glasses, this is the way to go. This is much better than wearing glasses with potentially scratching the lenses on your PSVR 2 headset. As you can see, how they work is it's 2 pieces. You have the lens itself, but then you also have this flexible ring I'm going to show you right here. It's flexible and it slides right over the lenses of the PSVR 2 headset. Very easy, it snaps over them, and then you can take the lenses in and out with ease. If you're wearing your contacts and you don't need these in, you can pop them out if somebody else is using the headset. I really like them. These have anti-glare and the blue light filters. You don't have to get that. That is extra money, but I do recommend the anti-glare because you're putting a lens over a lens, so the potential for glare is there, and that will help with that. But this is the way to go. I love this late at night, much better than wearing contacts, in my opinion. Now let's talk about the top 5 things to make PSVR 2 an even better experience than it already is. Number 5, and this is pretty low on the list, not that important, but wouldn't mind a little more immersion. I want to look at Johnny over there, have him turn his head, look at me, like, what's up, go get him, buddy. And then I want to actually open the door of the car, get in, start the engine, and drive out of this garage onto whatever track it is. Now, I mean, it can just be like a cutscene where after I drive out, boom, now I'm on the track. But that would be great immersion, would really add to the experience of, hey, I'm in this car because I went and got in it with my character. That's number 5 on my list. Number 4, I want my character in the replays and during the races to move his head the way I'm moving my head. I want that head tracking to go over to the character. So that way I can look at a racer during a race and say, what's up, boy, you shouldn't have hit me, or let's go, or whatever. You know, there's a lot of communication you can do with your head by moving it up and down, shaking it no. If somebody cuts you off, you know, you don't have hand tracking, so you can't give them the you know what, but you could shake your head no, like I'm not gonna put up with that. So right here you can see where I was, this is a replay of what we just looked at, and his head doesn't move. I know it's a little zoomed out, but whatever, you can tell, trust me, he does not move his head. So we need head movement. I think they could do that. Number 3, I want rain and night at every single track. Every single track, it makes sense. I mean, I know desert tracks aren't going to get rain or whatever, but the immersion you get from racing at night and racing in the rain is unbelievable. The 3D audio with the rain, watching the rain come across the windshield, and then it being night, it just sort of, it's the lights from the other cars shining into your car when you see them come up behind you. It's absolutely amazing. At Daytona, I can race at night, but I can't race in the rain. I want both. I want it that way at every track. So, you know, PD needs to make that happen, because racing at night in the rain in VR is a next level experience like you've never experienced in any video game ever. And number 2, and some of you guys will probably put this at number 1, but for me it's going to stay number 2 because I've learned how to live with it a little bit. But I want to be able to reset myself, my viewpoint, my perspective on where I'm at in VR with a quick button on my steering wheel instead of having to use the pause button or the options button. So if I'm too high up, my character's too high up because I wasn't sitting just right when the VR session started, I want to be able to reset that without hitting the pause menu. If you're in a sport race and you're going to hit the pause menu like I'm doing right here to reset yourself, that doesn't work real well in a sport race. It's okay for single player, but it doesn't work well in sport mode. And I really feel like they have to be working on this. Surely they know that that is not the way it ought to be. Now I've learned to live with it. I've learned to look straight ahead before every cutscene. I've learned to deal with it, but I would love to have a button for times when you're nervous and you're not thinking and you're looking the wrong way. Sometimes you're driving crooked. So we need a hot button that we can map on a steering wheel or the controller to reset ourselves in mid-race without having to pause the game. And number one reason, you probably could have guessed it, is we need a better hood in races, especially for like sport mode races. We need to know how far behind the leader we are, how far behind the car in front of us we are. And number one, when you get in those long World Series races, I want to know when everybody else is pitting. I can't see that right now when I'm doing a daily race C that has pit stops. I don't know when everybody else is pitting. I don't know what's going on. How far am I out of this thing? I need that information. So we could have a smaller hood, like in this car, for example. This is the new Super Formula cars they just put in the game. Over to the left, you could have a small hood. It tells you, they could tell you how far behind the leader you are, how far behind the car in front of you are, and how far the guy behind you is from you. And then you could also, it could just pop up and say, you know, P11's pitting, P10's pitting, P9's pitting, or whatever. And that would be better than what we have now, and it wouldn't be so big that would break our immersion. So that's something that's one idea I have, is just putting a smaller leaderboard over to the left. But you know, we're not seeing that yet, and it's really surprising that they haven't already put something like that in the game. And make it to where I can turn it on and off. There again, I can map a button on my steering wheel to turn the hood on and off. That's another thing to go with the hood. Let me be able to turn it on and off. If I know I'm in the lead, I'm running good, and I don't want all that information on the screen, or the race is kind of settled in and I don't feel like, you know, much is going on, I can hit a button and turn the hood off. Let me know in the comments if you agree with me. Give me a thumbs up, like this video. Let's make it go viral so that PD sees it and maybe adapt some of these things to the game immediately, because Psvr 2 GT7 is absolutely amazing. Martin Sim Racing signing out. See you later.